Hello and welcome. You're watching The Mint. I'm Abhishek Singh. The whole country is watching, keeping a very close eye on what's going to be the result as far as the Bihar elections are concerned. And to discuss that, I am joined by Master Pollster Pradeep Gupta. Pradeep ji, thank you so much for taking the time and, of course, talking to us because it is a very busy day for you. But that's because everybody is looking forward to one thing and one thing only, and that is what's going to be the outcome of the Bihar election. Your poll has, of course, given some clarity, but the ranges are very close. Why is that?
Ranges are actually not close. If you see the NDA range, which is 121 to 141 for majority mark, even in our range, BJP or NDA need only one more seat to form the government. And one, if it goes to 141, which is the comfortable majority. So, but if you see the other way round, the Mahagathbandhan range has been given from 98 to 118, but that higher range of Gathbandhan and lower range of NDA, very unlikely. Only 5% chances there that poll may go in that direction. 95% chances are there BJP or NDA is likely to form the government.
Okay, for some clarity, especially for our viewers, what's the reason behind this close range? And when I say close, it's because the upper band,
Yeah.
in case of Mahagathbandhan, in your poll is at 118, like you said. And of course, the lower range for the NDA is at 121. But when you look at other exit polls, the clear majority has been given to NDA by some margin.
That's right. So basically, see, when you try and evaluate the probable outcome of any election for that matter, there are three, four major important issues or aspect to in the play. One is the performance of the incumbent government, whom they have voted 5 years back. The performance, the best barometer for the performance is that is there is the anti-incumbency or the pro-incumbency in favor or against government. So this is something to be seen. In case of Bihar, we have witnessed that there is a pro-incumbency among approximately 75% of the people, which is somehow there is a fatigue factor among the those 22 to 25% people. Barring that, people are very happy or satisfied with the performance of not only the Nitish government but the Nitish Modi combined, they call it. Nitish Modi combined, they call it. There is a pro incumbency. Only in the age group of 18 to 29, there they want some kind of a change. Their fatigue factor is there, so and so forth. And that is where turning out to be in that much to the extent of that 22% of this section of the society want some kind of a change. In the sense it's just the 44 in our age group range, 44 for the Gathbandhan and 37 for the NDA. It's not that all 100% of the 22 goes to the other side. It will never be seen, but that is where Gathbandhan is exceeding the vote share of NDA only in these demography and this age group.
Okay, but that's very interesting. And since you're a psephologist, a polling master, so perhaps I can go into even more details and discuss the data and the numbers with you. And the specific aspect that I want to discuss is that every time we have seen in the past elections that there is an uptick by as much as 5% in any election, then it tends to be an anti-incumbency election. You are saying, and this is also being indicated by other polls, that this is a pro-incumbency election. In other words, people have voted for the government which is already in power. So how do you explain that?
No, we are saying the first point in our report is there is a pro incumbency in favor of Nitish state government. Pro incumbency. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Only barring that particular age group where Mahagathbandhan is having the age than the NDA. That's the only demography which represent 22%. Otherwise, the balance 78%, the age is with the Nitish Kumar and NDA. And that is the precisely reason why, if you see the, I'm saying the probability even within our range, that 95% chances are there NDA should not have any problem. Even in those 25%, I am not saying the Gathbandhan is likely to make the government. No, I am not saying that. The chances of getting to lower range for NDA is there, which is the 121 seats for NDA.
Okay. And what makes this a pro incumbency election? Because it's not like Bihar is one of the fastest or one of the biggest in terms of growth. I mean, some of the key indicators of human development, Bihar has been one of the laggards. So, what's the reason behind, this pro incumbency vote?
Yes,
Is
very
it the
good
freebies?
and pertinent question you ask. See, we'll have to see the expectation, needs, aspiration of the people of this state. And if you see that, you have rightly pointed out that under all kind of socio-economic parameters, Bihar comes in a lower range. But despite of that, 80 to 90% of the Bihar population is directly or indirectly depend on the government of the day. And if you see that, and when they compare the earlier governments, and they come out with whatever conclusion they have, which is, see, in any state government, these are the 6 7 points are the subject people depend on, which is road, electricity, water, education, health, law and order, and for issues related to farmers. These are the 6 7 basic parameters which impact larger section of the society of the state. And if you see among these, barring 2 3, you will find that 6 to 7 parameters, Nitish government or the central government has done some good in comparison to the previous government.
So you're saying NDA is benefiting from the Sushasan Babu image, which did take some hate, a dent perhaps, but despite that, he continues to be that one factor which is again going to ensure for NDA that it ends up on the winning side.
Yes, clear, honest, clean, honest image of Nitish Kumar combined with the delivery of central government, the Modi government. People have seen and witnessed so many things come on their way in last 5 to 10 years, in particular.
Okay. And Prashant Kishor, especially in the run up to the elections, was saying that this time around, despite the fact that female voter turnout has turned out to be, bigger than the male turnout, and despite that, women are not going to be a factor. It's the youth of Bihar which is going to be the deciding factor who will decide who wins this election. In this case, as exit polls are suggesting, NDA. Who do you think was a bigger factor? Was it the women or was it the youth? Who played a bigger hand, a better hand, and ensured that NDA will end up on the winning side?
See, it's very simple. Whoever has the major representation within the demography or within the state populations, if you talk about the youth, as I mentioned earlier, youth has the electors in particular, 18 to 29 years of age group having 24%. 24% is the youth representation. And when it comes to mahila, they have the 50.5% points. Who voter turnout is, whatever voter turnout is, whatever the votes are there in the machine at this point of time, locked in the machine, 50.4 for female and 49.6 for the male. This is the contribution. So male female representation is far greater than the youth representation, and that is where NDA in our poll, female voter for Gadbandhan 40%, for NDA 45%, 5% decisive lead is with NDA
Okay.
among
So
female voters.
Jivika Didi, schemes like that did play a big role in deciding who will end up being the winner. Having said that, the one more factor which was being discussed in the run up to the elections was, of course, Prashant Kishor and his Jan Swaraj party. What role do you think after the numbers, you've seen them, you've seen the data, you've dissected it, what role do you think he ended up playing?
See, he's contesting, or his party is contesting election the first time, and I mean, he's likely to secure about 4% vote share. As far as seat goes, he's likely to win 0 to 2 seats. So first time performance, I mean, this, and a state like Bihar, which is not easy in multiple ways, multiple regions, too large a state, too complex a state. There is a caste combination at the play, which is the highest at any comparing the any other states in the caste equation. So this is something, it will take some time for Prashant Kishore. I always say that कोशिश काबिले तारीफ है, बट मंजिल अभी थोड़ी दूर है.
Right, right. Okay. And
It will take
for
some
you,
time, before he start or become a good player in the fray.
right. And for you, as far as this election is concerned, what has been the most interesting thing, most interesting insight that you have observed?
Voter turnout has exceeded from 57 to 67, which is historical. That is something where even my poll, which is also first time ever, so we don't know this incremental 10% where this is coming from. 6% points in on the account of SIR purification process. 48 lakhs has been votes has been in sheer number. 20 lakhs has been diseased, and about 28 lakhs is permanently migrated. Out of those, 66 lakhs has been deleted. So this turning out to be 6% point, which in past they have never ever voted. This time has been removed. So you can say 6% coming from there, but still that 4% incremental is still a question. And for that, what we feel is this time the election is being held post Diwali, meaning post Chhat Puja. So large section of the Bihar who lives outside the Bihar has been there and voted in large numbers. Earlier, the election used to conclude between Dasera and Diwali, last 2 to 3 occasions. Assembly election I am talking about. So this is something interesting to see this time.
My last question to you, and that is, Tiger abhi zinda hai, Nitish Kumar, despite the fact that he's old.
Yes,
If
absolutely.
because and on the other side,
नीतीश कुमार के संदर्भ में जब हमने पूछा कि कैसे देखते हैं आप नीतीश कुमार को, उसका
जी,
स्वास्थ्य ठीक नहीं रहता, उन्होंने पलटू राम की इमेज है, वो यहाँ से वहाँ गए हुए हैं, कैसे देखते हैं आप उनको? जनता एक सेंटेंस में उसको समराइज करती है, बाय एंड लार्ज वो जैसे भी हैं हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छे हैं,
हम्म और
लार्जर सेक्शन
दिलचस्प
ऑफ द.
बात जी, और दिलचस्प बात यह है कि जिस चुनाव में हम ये बात कर रहे हैं कि महिलाओं ने क्या भूमिका अदा की और जो यूथ है राज्य का उसने क्या भूमिका अदा की, दूसरी तरफ दो जवान राजनीतिक रूप से अगर देखें तो जवान राहुल गांधी और तेजस्वी यादव थे और उनको एक बार फिर नीतीश कुमार ने पछाड़ दिया है। एटलीस्ट अभी तो ऐसा ही लगता है।
अभी तो ऐसे ही लगता है, यू कैन से दैट. एंड दोनों का परफॉर्मेंस, कभी वो डिप्टी सीएम थोड़े दिन के लिए रहे हैं आपके तेज पर, बहुत ही लिमिटेड पीरियड के लिए, तो लोगों ने अभी उनको, चूंकि वो सरकार में उस तरीके से नहीं रहे प्रॉपरली, सर्वे सर्वा सरकार, तो अभी क्या कहा जा सकता है उनके बारे में, until and unless they do and hold some position and win the election.
But since he is so popular on the ground still, do you think BJP will be compelled to again choose him as the chief minister?
I think so. If this verdict comes in, I mean, BJP will definitely choose Nitish Kumar. I mean, they have also said so. I mean, there is no other way. There is only one. There is no other post available. और खाली है बोलते हैं वो chief minister के लिए. So it's by default it seems he would be the chief minister for the NDA if NDA wins with the majority.
Right. No surprises there on that front. But on that note, Mr. Gupta, always a pleasure talking to you. So thank you for taking out the time and talking
Thank
to us today. And tomorrow, after the result is out, I'll again request you to take out some time and talk to us.
Sure. Thank you.